bringing the people behind our food to life.
Tell me how sustainable agriculture might fit into this broader picture of a local community-based economic system.
Yeah, agriculture is a key piece of this economic transformation. We have created an industrialized agricultural system that is absolutely dependent on energy subsidies that are not sustainable, that are designed to overpower nature by substituting energy subsidies for the natural dynamics of our biological systems. It is designed to separate people as far as possible from the source of their food, because the global agribusiness corporations then can control the markets and distribution, control both the production, because the producers are dependent on the global corporations for their sales, and people on the other end are dependent on these corporations for their supply. So the corporations have power and the ability to extract monopoly profits on both ends, all supported by massive energy subsidies and ultimately by all kinds of other tax subsidies and public subsidies that maintain a system that is in any legitimate terms not economically viable and not biologically viable. So the part of the transformation is moving toward not only local agriculture, but agriculture that's based on much smaller production units, that minimizes the dependence on external inputs, and that works with rather than against the natural cycles of nature and the natural dynamics of nature, which are enormously powerful and enormously productive. The potential in urban agriculture, local agriculture, for truly intensive production, producing huge amounts of food in sustainable ways on tiny pieces of property. Where I live on Bainbridge Island, one of my local farmers took me down to visit a farming couple in Bremerton, which is a little larger community nearby. They live in one of these kind of post-World War II suburban areas with these kind of little postage stamp suburban lots. But they grow enough food on that lot to feed much of their neighborhood. It's the most intensive, most productive agricultural thing I have ever seen in my life. It's just, they have rabbits and chickens and fruit trees and all kinds of vegetables and all the recycling systems on their property, and the things growing on the roof, and the output is unbelievable. I had no idea that you could produce that much food on a tiny plot. But this is rediscovering the potentials of a very, very different kind of agriculture than what we have organized now. And of course, the current food system is one that is absolutely destined to collapse as we go beyond peak oil and our energy subsidies begin to run out, and as climate change disrupts our climatic patterns around the world. It's going to force people everywhere to come back and rely on their local resources. So there's not going to be countries exporting surplus. We're all going to be basically forced to learn how to use our own resources to grow our own food. And anybody who continues to assume that they can simply import it is going to get very hungry.
What ultimately is going to end up causing us to start moving in the right direction, if that indeed is going to happen?
Well, a critical thing to realize in terms of the change is that the change is happening. I'm the board chair of Yes Magazine, and our whole mission, our whole editorial policy is focused on shining a spotlight on what are literally millions of people who are working to create this new reality from the bottom up by rebuilding their local food systems, by rebuilding their local economies and their local communities. And it's not just about economics, it's about rebuilding our relationships with one another and with the living earth, rediscovering our nature as living beings, as part of a larger ecosystem, a part of a larger global biosphere. And if that weren't happening, if it was a matter of, just going out and saying, hey, we got to do something, we would clearly be lost. But those forces are already in play, and much of what I do, much of my message is really feeding back to those people so that, as we get focused on our immediate local initiative, we can also step back and see how that fits within this much larger pattern and how the elements of these different initiatives come together to create a critical transformative mass. And it really is about, it's recognizing that we're not going to change the Wall Street system from within. That system is so totally corrupt and so totally out of sync with any kind of human need. And the people within it are not going to one morning wake up and say, oh, we need to really do this differently. We bring about the change by creating this new reality, by giving people more and more options as to where they work, shop, and invest, and begin to withhold our life energy from the Wall Street system. That's partly withholding our money, but it's really our life energy in the end. And then redirecting it to this process of rebuilding from the bottom up, so that that new system grows, gains more and more energy, and pulls that energy away from the corrupt Wall Street system, so that the Wall Street system ultimately collapses because it receives no further support from the rest of the society.
Does that mean then at that point government will start functioning again in the name of the people, in the public interest?
Well, part of understanding the dynamic that's taking place is that a lot of our local governments are responding to the new needs. In Seattle, our city council has passed a resolution committing Seattle to moving towards zero waste. That means no landfill. They have also passed resolutions supporting the development of local food self-reliance and supporting local urban agriculture. So, the rules now give you specific permission to have a garden in your front yard, or to keep chickens and goats. This is a big advance in terms of rethinking our urban space and how it's used. So, government is going to be responsive there. Now, as we begin to change the story about what are our real values, what are our real needs, what is the real nature of money, what are the options in terms of the money system and how it organizes, what's our real human nature in terms of our desire or need for community, and we begin to build this new reality, we create a new political climate in which it becomes harder and harder for our national politicians to align with Wall Street interests and to maintain their positions. They really have to align with this new conception of our society and of our role in it as human beings.